Hello everyone, I'm Kalen North and welcome back to Spirit Island. Today we're going to be taking on another level 6 adversary matchup. I'm going to be running Rising Heat of Stone and Sand into Sweden 6. I think, I don't know, I like playing the Horizon Spirits on the original boards and the non-Horizon Spirits on the new boards now, just for variety's sake. I guess let's go with... Let's just do board D. Board D is one I tend to neglect, so let's try that. Sweden 6, no scenario. We've got Branch and Claw and events on, and let's go ahead and play this game. Alright, so invaders start in the jungles, and they get an extra building in the wetlands. I'm gonna throw that in land 3, so that if wetlands comes up as the first stage 2 card, land 1 is safe. So let's talk through what we're going to do here a little bit. I'm probably going to try to handle land 2 with Sweltering Exhaustion on turn 2, and I want to handle land 6 in some other fashion. Most likely Gift of Searing Heat on turn 1 to stop the build entirely. We have a few tools here that we could do. I think what I want to do is actually draft a power turn 1 and go into the bottom track. We're going to start trying to get towards 3 card plays, and get some extra energy, as well as getting presence into the jungles, which is a little bit tricky as a heat. So let's gain a power card, let's take a minor, and see if that changes anything for us. Oh, Disorienting Landscape kind of does. Because then we can just push the Explorer out of land 6, and we can use Gift of Searing Heat for energy on ourselves. Other options, we've got Voracious Growth, could be nice, deal some damage in jungles and wetlands, which are our not as great areas. Dark Entangled Woods for some defense could work, but Defend 3 just isn't that much against Sweden, and so it's probably not going to be good. Rain of Blood, I mean, it's a fine card, but I don't think it's going to do much for us here. I really like Disorienting Landscape here. I think that's going to be our best bet. Just because we can push the Explorer out of land 6 and get that Wilds token. So even with not great elements, I think that's still worth it. I am going to go for a second card play here. And I'm going to actually grow into land 1 rather than land 6, because I don't need to Gift of Searing Heat it. And I want to get into the wetlands because they could be problematic at some point, and it's harder to get into the wetlands. Otherwise, I would grow into land 2 most likely, but that's too far away for the growth option we took. So turn 1, I want to play Disorienting Landscape, and I'm thinking I kind of want to use Call on Herders for aid as well. The reason I want to use Call on Herders for aid is to try and get the Dahan grouped up a little bit better, so that when the Sweden escalations start hitting on turn 2, we'll be better equipped to handle them. This will also help us disrupt whatever the next Explore is. If they explore sands, we'll be good. If they explore mountains, we can push them out of land 5 or land 8 potentially. So either way, that's going to be helpful for us. So I'm going to Disorienting Landscape. I'm going to push the Explorer into land 4, which we're just going to let be a problem land for now. It is a sand, so it's going to be easy to double grow in there later if we have to. And the sand's explored again, so that's fine. Land 2, that Dahan is going to have to just stay there and possibly get converted to a town, I think, because I really want to pull the Dahan from land 5 into land 7 with Call on Herders for aid. And then use that to push out the town and the Explorer that are in there. We will leave the 2 Dahan in land 1, because those are grouped up nicely already. And then I am going to push... yeah, I'm going to push the Explorer and the town. I'm going to push them into land 8, actually. Just group everything up a little bit. And then I'm going to leave the 3 Dahan together so that we don't have to worry about any escalation effects. You know, I'm actually going to push 1 Dahan into land 1. Just because, again, I'm kind of worried about wetlands if they do come up. So let's do that. And now, hopefully we don't have any issues with that escalation. If jungles comes up, it is what it is. And now turn 2, I think I want to... This is where I'm thinking about double growing into land 4, actually. Probably going top track at this point. We could go bottom track and try and... no, we couldn't afford everything, actually, if we did that. So probably going top track here to start getting some more energy so that we can shift into more of a major strategy at some point. And then that'll also get us a nice sacred site to handle the city and the town that's going to build in land 4. Otherwise, we could draft a new miner or something like that, but I'm just not as enthused by that plan. So I am going to play... I'm not too worried about using Stinging Sandstorm this turn. I would much rather use Gift of Searing Heat to set myself up for a major play next turn. So we're going to use Gift of Searing Heat, gain 2 energy, and then Sweltering Exhaustion to skip the Ravage and land 2. Alright, Investigation of Dangers. I believe we're at Terror 1. Add a Explorer to a land without invaders or Dahan. Prey on the Unwary isn't going to do anything, unfortunately, because we've got that town in with the Beast. And Rouse the Spirits. We could potentially burn some Explorers, I think, but I think we want to save that for later. Alright, so add an Explorer to a land without... So we can do land 5 or 6. I'd rather put them in land 5 for now, just because we have the wilds in land 6. And then... Let's see here. We do get to use a slow power potentially, but I want to save it because if they explore mountains next, I want to be able to burn both explorers in land 5. And if they explore something else, I might want to burn explorers somewhere else. So I'm not actually going to use the slow power fast. Ravage in the jungle, we skip the Ravage. Build in the sands, that's fine. And they explore in the sands again. That's really good, actually, because land 7 will take care of itself, and now we just need to find some way to defend or nuke land 4, which we will hopefully find in the major deck. I'm thinking, I'm now waffling on whether I'm going to take Growth 3 or Growth 1 next turn, because if we take Growth 1, then we can get Sweltering Exhaustion back as sort of an emergency panic button. In case we don't get a good major on our draft. So let's Scorch with Waves of Heat. I'm going to actually take out 2 Explorers in land 4, just because right now that's the biggest threat. And then, yeah, I think I'm going to Reclaim instead of gaining a power card here. We can go and just... We could go up to 3 energy if we gain the power card, which would be really nice for paying for a more expensive major, but if we just draft all slow powers, you know, that land's going to blight, we're going to get an adjacent town, lots of bad stuff's going to happen. I think it's better to just take the slightly safer route and use the Ravage skip if we need it. So let's go ahead and gain a major. And yep, none of these would have saved us. So that's fine. I think that I actually really like Manifest Incarnation here. Oh, actually no, because then they're going to build another town in land 4 after they Ravage. And Manifest Incarnation's a little expensive too. So Vengeance of the Dead is the only card with fire here, but I don't really like Vengeance of the Dead very much for this. It's not going to be enough even with like Gift of Searing Heat, which is our only fast damage right now, to take out all the stuff in land 4. Entwined Power could be a good pick, just because we get more power cards. We're probably not going to threshold it ever, but it's still really good for that. Mists of Oblivion, I don't think we're likely to threshold. We don't have any water elements yet. This is kind of a meh draft in my book. I'm thinking Manifest Incarnation or Entwined Power. Probably Entwined Power, because I think it's going to be more effective at getting us to the win. Manifest Incarnation could be nice for like clearing land 2. But I just don't trust it as much. I don't think it's gonna. It's a ton of fear. But yeah, I think Entwined Power is going to be best here. I'm going to go ahead and forget Disorienting Landscape, just because I don't think the elements are going to be good enough to threshold Entwined Power at any point. And then I'm going to use Sweltering Exhaustion to skip the Ravage in land 4. And I think I want... possibly... well, the question is, do I want to trigger Gift of Searing Heat this turn, or do I want to play... or trigger my Innate this turn by playing Gift of Searing Heat or Stinging Sandstorm, or do I want to play Entwined Power to start trying to mulligan and get more power cards? I think I want to do Entwined Power, because I think that blowing up the Explorers isn't going to be as important as just setting ourselves up for success on the next turn. So we'll go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and Entwined Power. And I do want to gain a Miner here, I think, just because I want to fill out my hand more than I want to just dig for a good Major. We can try and search for a Major again next turn by using Growth 3. So I'm going to just take 2 Miners. Alright. So I'm going to pretend Growth Through Sacrifice doesn't exist. It's probably a good pick, but I don't really want to play that game today. Infested Aquifers isn't that interesting. Bad elements mostly, and just the effect isn't going to do as much without other disease sources, and we haven't gotten any of those yet. So we're probably going to end up taking Elemental Boon and Gift of Power, which is fine. Those will be good for us. So I'll take Elemental Boon, and then with the second draft, I'll take Gift of Power. Sweltering Exhaustion on land 4 to skip the Ravage. Alright, and we get Local Diaspora. I believe that's the mountain, actually. Oh, we actually get a choice. Yeah, let's not push from the mountain, because then land 7's going to be in trouble. So let's push from land 4. Let's go ahead and put that town in land 3, and put the Explorer in land, I think, 2? Yeah, I think land 2 will let build up and just sort of be a problem. Invaders Ravage in the Sands. Land 7 is fine, and we will skip the Ravage in land 4. They build in the Sands, which is less fine. And they explore the wetlands. Alright, so land 3 is suddenly going to be a bit of an issue, but we can try and make up for that. I think this turn, so now we need a way to actually deal with land 4. I'm going to gamble on a Major. I don't want to keep reclaiming for Sweltering Exhaustion. I think that's a good way to lose. So I'm going to try and gain a Major, see if I can get something that'll let me do some damage fast, or other things. Alright, Pent-Up Calamity could be good here. We don't have tokens in there, unfortunately. And we don't have a way to add tokens. But we could add a Disease and a Strife to get the city slowed down, and then take out the town with Gift of Searing Heat. Cast Down to the Briny Deep, too expensive for us. We're not going to worry about that. It's got bad elements. We're never going to threshold it. Twisted Flowers Murmur Ultimatums could be useful. The elements aren't great, but Fear is always nice. Removing Invaders is always nice. Unrelenting Growth is an incredible card, but I'm looking for some kind of immediate answers right now, and so I'm a little too worried about that one to actually take it. So I think I'm going to do Pent-Up Calamity. I'm going to go ahead and forget Entwined Power at this point, actually, just because it's done its work, I think. We're not going to play it again, most likely. And then I am going to grow... Let's see, we could grow from the top track, but I think I actually want to grow from the bottom track to get closer to that 3-card plays. We could potentially even hit 4-card plays next turn, and play 4 cards. And we have lots of energy, so I think that that's reasonable. So I'm going to grow into land 3. And let's see, Jungles still hasn't come up in stage 2. So that Dahan in land 2 is just... I'm assuming that Dahan is a town, basically, at this point. So Pent-Up Calamity and Gift of Searing Heat, I think, are the 2 I need to play this turn. In order to handle land 4. So we'll do that and see how things go. Pent-Up Calamity would be nice if we had the tokens already, but we don't. So And then spend an energy to deal 1 damage. And maybe the event will let us move Dahan or something. Nope. Promising farmland isn't going to do anything good for us right now. Beasts Provoked is going to get us another beast token, which is nice. We can probably nuke land 3 with Pent-Up Calamity in a turn or so. Yeah. Alright, each player removes an explorer or town from a land with disease. That does nothing, unfortunately. Ravage in the sands, build in the wetlands, and explore in the jungles. Alright, so we're gonna explore... I mean, it doesn't matter because we have the wilds token, so the town is going to go in land 2 anyway. And yes, we lost that Dahan as expected. So now this turn, I think I do want to... we just don't have anything fast is the problem. So Pent-Up Calamity, again, would go a long ways towards solving land 3, but it'd be nice to do it with a Sacred Site in there as opposed to what we're at. So I think I'm going to actually just draft another power card from the major deck and see if I can get something good here. Definitely some options there. Insatiable Hunger of the Swarm, one of my favorite cards. That could clean out land 3 very nicely. I mean, at the cost of blowing up a bunch of our stuff, blowing up our presence there and adding some blight, but that's probably all right. Flow like water, reach like air. We could just pull everything into another land, like land 2, for example. We could get the elements to threshold it if we played it with either Elemental Boon or Gift of Power and Stinging Sandstorm. I don't have a solution to land 1, so that's actually going to be kind of bad. That's going to blight out of town and be a problem. Power Storm isn't going to do too much for us. The elements are fun. It'd be fun to threshold it, but we don't need to repeat a bunch of powers right now. Volcanic Eruption, again, very expensive. I think I like Flow Like Water, Reach Like Air here. As much as I love Insatiable Hunger of the Swarm, I don't think it's going to do what I want it to do right now. It would clear land 3. And then it would go a long ways. You know, it would go a long ways to clearing land 2 as well, because we'd be able to get 4 beasts in there on the next turn if we reclaimed. You know, let's just go for all the blight. It'll be fine. Flow Like Water, Reach Like Air is great, but then it's just going to concentrate the problems for later. And I don't think that... Yeah, let's take Insatiable Hunger. I'm going to forget Gift of Searing Heat at this point. I don't think we're going to use that again here. Insatiable Hunger is going to clear land 3 without any issues, so I don't want to put a presence in there because it's just going to get destroyed. I do want to put a presence in, I think, land 1. Just to have the Sacred Site in case our Fear card or event does something with that. Yeah, there's definitely some options that could help there. So we'll play Insatiable Hunger. I think I want to follow that up with probably Gift of Power and Stinging Sandstorm. Because I'm not too worried about actually getting any of my innates this turn. Stinging Sandstorm could do some work potentially in land 1. And yeah, I think that'll be fine. So let's go for that. So Insatiable Hunger of the Swarm. Let's go ahead and lose our presence, blow everything up, get a couple of fear cards. Fearful Mobs. Or wait, are we at Terror 1 or 2? I can't remember. Grim Toll's going to be nice. And then Fierce Mean will get us a little more fear. So let's do it. Alright, each player removes an Explorer from a land with Beast, Disease, or at least 2 Dahan. So that clears out Explorer from land 1. That's good. That'll save a Dahan at least. We may push an Explorer into a land with more buildings than it came from. So let's push that Explorer into land 2. And we add a town to, I think land 7's our best bet here, because we can just take that out with Stinging Sandstorm. Alright, Mountains Explore. Gift of Power, let's see what we get. Fire in the Sky is nice. Get some Strife. Importance of Disaster, try and get a little more fear. Try and rush up to Terror 3, perhaps. Call to Bloodshed could be useful. I don't think it's going to be as useful. I think Fire in the Sky is what I want to take here. It's got a lot of potential, so. Then I'm looking at reclaiming next turn, so I think I'm gonna just Stinging Sandstorm. I'm probably gonna just take out the Explorer in land 5, grabbing a presence from land 4, just to clear that out, because I don't want to put any presence in land 2 right now. All right, so we're gonna reclaim. We'll gain a minor power. Something that costs 0 ideally, so Gold's Allure. These others might be interesting, but I don't think any of them are going to do quite as much because we can't play them, because we need all of our energy for Insatiable Hunger of the Swarm. So let's do this. And again, we're sort of gambling that we'll get something useful with the fear cards. We are flipping to Blighted Island, so Downward Spiral. Pull in 2 beasts, get some more fear, and then I'm going to take out both cities and 1 town. And sort of just hope that those 3 Terror level 2 fear cards do enough. Downward Spiral, I'll lose the presence in the sands, because we have a disease there. Increasing Aggression, they get +1 damage. That's not great. We do get a Blight back, so that's nice. Each player may push up to 3 from an inland land. So let's try and shove things out of land 8. We'll put them in land 7. May choose a land with Dahan or adjacent to at least 3 Dahan. That's not going to be enough, unfortunately. So we'll just stop them from ravaging in a random land. And finally, different land with Dahan, each 1 damage per Dahan there. So I guess we do that here, and we take out 2 towns, and that gets us another fear card. So each player chooses a different land, and each gather up to 2 Dahan, 1 damage if Dahan are present. I think we're still going to take the Blight and Cascade in land 2, unfortunately. We can take out the town. We can take out land 8, though, so that'll be nice. So the mountains will be clear, and things will be pretty good. Oh, sorry, we take 3 Blight. And then I will add a town to land 1. And I will cascade the Blight to land 4. Alright, they explore the sands and wetlands. That's fine. We just need to take out 2 towns or get another 4 fear in order to win. So that's pretty good. Gold's Allure is actually going to be pretty handy for that. We can pull... let's pull this Explorer and Town from land 1 in and strife the town. Gift of Power. We can take... I don't know that any of these are going to actually change things too much. We're just going to Pent Up Calamity and win next turn, I'm pretty sure. I guess I'll take Animated Rackroot because it costs 0 and has Fire Element. I think that's probably our best bet. But I believe we should be able to just win on the Ravage now. So I want to be able to play Pent Up Calamity this turn, so I'm going to go ahead and take Growth 3. We'll gain another minor. Steam Vents, I guess. Just for elements. I'm probably not even going to play it. None of these are going to do anything except for Steam Vents, potentially. And then I want a 4th card play, I think. Because I'm going to... Oh, no, I'm only going to have 4 energy. So that's going to be 3 for Pent Up Calamity. I can play Animated Rackroot. And then something else. So I'm actually going to go top track here. And we'll put that presence in land 1, I guess. It doesn't really make a huge difference where we go. But we're going to Pent Up Calamity to clear land 2 and generate a huge amount of fear and just win the game off of that. Fire in the Sky we can play for the lulls. And Animated Rackroot for further lulls. Yeah, so that should win us the game here, I think. If I'm not mistaken. Could even Fire in the Skyland 2 to get another Strife token in there, but so why not? We'll Strife the town and then Pent Up Calamity, and we will remove a Beast and a Strife. We could remove 3 more, but we only need those 2, so we will skip that. Victory condition is no cities, and there are no cities. We can return the Strife token, I guess. And there we have it. Heat wins. So that was a little messy. There's probably some better Heat builds out there. I'm still trying to learn some of what they're capable of. I do like their growth 3 is, I think, really good. I love their growth 2 for being able to just double grow. This is a matchup where you can't always do that, unfortunately. But yeah, it's a fun one. Hope you enjoyed watching, and if you liked the video, please like and comment if you have anything to say, or join me on Discord. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day.